What I've got for you guys this morning is a very early and likely still developing news story. Hopefully more details will be coming out very, very soon, but I thought it'd be worth at least discussing a little bit at this point in time. Let's take a look here at a post on Weibo from Ice Universe, someone who, as you know, is a fairly well-known tech tipster. I cannot get this box to go away. They posted just the other day very early rumors that the S24 Ultra was missing a camera, possibly canceling the 3X and incorporating it into the periscope telephoto. So for those that do not know, the Galaxy S23 Ultra does in fact have a 3X telephoto and a 10X telephoto on the back of the device. And the reason that you do this is so that you can have decent quality images at all different zoom levels, all the way from 1x up to 10x, and then of course hybrid zooming past 10x up to 100x. If you don't have that 3x in there, you are in a situation where at 1x you look okay, 2x you probably look okay, speaking about most phones anyways. But then once you get up to 3x, and again, you're just digitally zooming, things start to degrade. 4, 5, 6, things are really degrading. 7, 8, 9, things look terrible. Then you get to 10, the 10x telephoto kicks in, and the photos look great again. That's not a great experience. So they drop a 3x in the middle-ish to kind of make that work a bit better. You'll still find that on the S23 Ultra that an 8 or a 9x zoomed photo does not look nearly as good as the 10x photo does, because that's pretty far away from that 3x zoom. Now, if we get rid of the 3x, we have to discuss at that point, what does that mean for the S24 Ultra? How could they possibly pull this off? Because the S24 Ultra is likely to still have that 200 megapixel sensor. And with that sensor, yeah, you can actually do quite a bit in terms of digital zoom. It's such a high resolution sensor that you could probably get away with 2, 3, maybe 4x all digital zoom with that lens alone. And you may say, at first blush, then why do we need the 3x zoom? Well, because of the things I just said, because 5x, 6x, 7, 8, 9, are all going to really begin to struggle, even with a 200 megapixel sensor. So it's important then to look at how this was phrased, incorporating it into the periscope telephoto. Now, we're going to take all of this with a pinch of salt. None of this may happen, but if it does, what do we mean by incorporating it into the periscope telephoto? Well, perhaps what we mean is some sort of variable zoom, right? So on like traditional, like normal cameras, like the camera I'm filming on, I can do this. And you'll notice that when I do that, I don't lose a lot of quality because things are physically moving, right? And so it's not a digital zoom. That is a hardware level zoom. It's actual zoom, okay? So might Samsung be planning on doing something like that with the S24 Ultra's periscope zoom lens? Some sort of actual true variable zoom in which an internal lens is being moved around inside the device in order to max at 10, but also back down to maybe 5. So then you're going to go digital with the 200 megapixel sensor up to 5x, and once you hit, or I guess I should say like 4.99, and then once you switch to 5, that thing zooms down, and then as you're zooming in, that lens is moving forward or backwards, whichever way I guess it would need to move, depending on how you're holding it. It's sideways, whatever, you know what I mean. It would move around in order to do the rest of the zoom. This could be extremely interesting, and we also have to look at the fact that all the way back in 2021, Oppo claimed they were working on something very, very similar to this. 85 to 200 millimeter continuous optical zoom. This is exactly the kind of tech that we are talking about. So this is being worked on, and I actually think this has been shipped on some phones. I'm not exactly sure which ones, because I don't think any of them came here. I know Sony was working on something like this, although again, I'm not entirely sure if that actually managed to ship, and it definitely wasn't on the level that we're talking about here of what Samsung would be doing. But that is a potential solution to this problem that they may be creating by going down this road. And theoretically, if they did this and they were actually able to vary their zoom of that 10x down to 5, it may actually be such that we don't have nearly as much of that quality fall off at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9x zoom, because you've got a lens there for that. And the lower zoom levels up to 4, the 200 megapixel sensor can probably handle that stuff pretty well. So if they're able to pull this off, you're probably going to be reducing a camera off the back, which might look better for one. There's a lot of cameras back there. Two, that might reduce cost, but then I'm sure any cost you're going to save, you're going to dump right back into a variable zoom lens that's a periscope. So I don't think you're going to really save any money there, but it might end up being better results in the photographic department, which is the most important thing with these phones. So there you go, guys. Again, this is very early days. All this stuff is subject to change. We're speculating quite heavily, but hopefully this was still an enjoyable video. Subscribe for more content just like this. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.